Hello, everybody. It is Renee, and I am super excited today to be talking with my friend and someone I've known for quite a few years, Tracy Gardner. Tracy was a regional director for a company that I was involved with for my meal system, and last year she moved into owning her own business. And many of us know Tracy. She's vivacious and fun. She's a super business lady, and she's a healthy business strategist. So, welcome, Tracy, from cold Nebraska.
Hey, and thank you, Renee, for having me. And I'm so excited to be here. But yes, we had a blizzard yesterday, so it's cold Nebraska here.
Wow, I've been talking to Dee lately on we've been doing a lot of lives together, and it's like minus there. Are you in the minus?
It was about 3 degrees here today.
Oh my goodness. I'm in Palm Desert, and we think it's cold because it's like 62 degrees.
Oh, I'm jealous. So jealous.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you are joining us today, whether you are live or watching this in the replay, please let us know your name and where you're from, what business you own, what type of coach. We have a lot of different types of coaches in our group. And if you have healthy practitioner friends, invite them in. This is a forum where we will continue to be collaborating and educating, whether it's like today, talking about our branding and marketing, or, just a variety of different subjects as entrepreneurs and business owners. It's my passion. I've been a serial entrepreneur since, for 35 years, and since I was 24. And it's my passion to share with other people and to help others. I love collaborating as coaches. We may be in different modalities, but we all have the same heart. And as health coaches, maybe we need a little help in the business area. So we all need stuff. So let us know where you're from. Tell us your name and what business you have. Ask us any questions. And Tracy, welcome. We're going to be talking about the 5 marketing mistakes that coaches make. So welcome.
Well, thank you so much. And just like you, serial entrepreneur all my life. And so even though I worked for the same company, we were our own independent contractors. And my love of helping on the business side, I was a health coach first and owned a clinic and was in the weight loss sector as well. But I love the business strategy. And so I wanted to talk today about, since we're now moving to the online portion, from everything specifically. Now, some of the people on the call may have already had an online presence or, been coaching online. And then there's some that may not. And so there's just a few mistakes that I kind of wanted to talk about today. And one of them specifically that I wanted to start with is just not fully executing the sale. And so a lot of people go online, and you're going to see me talk with my hands. A lot of people go online and they are making the connections, right? And they're doing what we call the attraction level. So they're getting people to like them, but they're not moving them beyond that. So they might not have a sales funnel, or they might not have any other process that they're taking them through the sales cycle. So they may be posting a lot or doing a lot of things, but they're really just at that starting phase. And so it's just the attraction phase. And so it's like in a garden, you see these pretty flowers and everything, but they are not, helping them to grow. So we need to help them to know the sales funnel and know what the steps are to get through the sales cycle. So a lot of times I'm seeing that with a lot of clients that I work with. They don't have a full sales marketing funnel that they lead the client through. And it's a journey that you lead them through. So if you're just doing things and throwing them up there and not sure how they stick, kind of creating that marketing plan. And that's what I help my clients discover. and we take an assessment and look at, the whole process and the foundation of everything. So number one is really not fully executing that sales process. Okay.
So
yes, go ahead.
I have a question for you, and sorry, I don't know what's going on with our. Oh well. A lot of people, and I know I hear this all the time: attraction marketing, and you hear this attraction marketing. Give us an idea in the health space what attraction marketing means.
Well, specifically to what I'm saying here is just even attracting you're attracting your people, but you're not telling them what your offer is, or you don't have a way to capture the lead. So you might not have, a place for free giveaway, or you might not have, because they want freebies. Might not have a Facebook platform for them to go to. So you need a process for them to be able to go through to know, like, and trust you before they're going to try, buy, and refer. So attraction, I wasn't necessarily talking attraction marketing, but just the attractions, it's like the first date. And so if you're out, okay, I did not go through this after my divorce, but if you were going online to date, I didn't go out on the date and go through the process of dating and then move it to the next step. Or just flirting, let's say just flirting. We're just flirting with people out there. You're not getting the date because we're just flirting with the client. So you don't have a way to capture the lead or take them on a journey. Okay. But attraction marketing, yes, we talk about that a lot with clients as well when I'm working with them. The next one, which you are fantastic at, is video content. And video is so loved, and having a place for the video and telling your story, because people, they get to know you. And that's how I got to know you, because even though we were from the same company and the same background, it was through what you started putting out there and actually helping people. And that's something that's really, you're known for that. And for you have a voice, so people know you, they like you, they trust you, and they see your style, and they're like, you know what, I want to work with her. She solves my problems. And so video is so important. And if you're scared of the video, I get it. It's scared, but that's where, when I start working with the clients too, we look at all the pieces of what you could add in. And if you're in a safe place and it's your own private little Facebook group, but just getting started and having a plan. But video, it is the place to be. It is. And Facebook and those recognize it so well. And, there's so many strategies you can use, but it's a mistake not to start using it and getting comfortable. And a lot of times I don't like to hear myself either. I don't like to go back and I'm like, oh.
I know. I don't, I don't like the way I sound on camera, and it was really hard for me at first. And I'll tell you guys a funny little story, because the reason I started doing my videos was because my son, I thought it would be a way for my son and I to connect, because he would always be over in his bedroom. He's like 15 years old. He'd be over in his bedroom and I'd hear him talking away. And I'm like, who in the heck is he talking to? He was literally he had his own YouTube channel. He had like 500 followers. People were sending him money for helping them learn video games. And he had this whole thing going. And I was like, this is something we should do together. You can help me and I'll make cooking videos and I'll do this and that. And so it was a way more for us to connect. And then I started, everything I do, I study. And so then I started studying it and I was like, whoa, Facebook. And this is 3 years ago, Facebook was saying, we are only really going to recognize live content. So you can put out all the, this is where we're heading. So you can put out all the content you want. And I can see this even on my own pages, like my Renee Lynn's Nutrition and Wellness page has about 19,000 between followers and people that actually have liked the page or followed the page. And literally 20 people will get my post if it's just a post. Now, if I go live, hundreds of people see it. So it's really the way that Facebook and Instagram. You know, they want you to make their reels, they want you to make the IGTVs, and TikTok and all this stuff. They want live content, and so I did get really used to it. But I'll tell you what, it was uncomfortable. And one of the reasons I love this format here, Tracy, is because we're having a conversation. When you're just talking to the camera, I remember at first I would be like, and actually someone, posted on my video, that lady always says, and so I wrote him a comment, I'm really sorry, but I'm new to this. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I loved your video. You just said, a lot. So it's okay.
It is okay.
Do it. Get out there and do it, you guys.
I have my hands flying. I say so. It's just who I am. And so people will fall in love with that. And if they don't resonate with you, they don't.
It's okay.
And so, yeah. And like you said, you studied it. It's really important. When I start breaking it down with clients where we're at, I don't want them to take on everything. We have to chunk down what we're going to work on and make it manageable. Yeah. So, because then you're going to get overwhelmed and then you're going to spin out of control. And that's usually what I see in my clients as well. The other big one that I'm going to say is not automating. Automation and foundations are key. I'm one of those, a lot of people see me and they're like, oh, you just love doing all the details and the work and creating things. Not necessarily. I do like to do things once, and I do like to do them right. So a lot of times when I personally come in and start talking to clients, I don't like to just put bandages on things. I actually like to, make sure and that we go back and we fix really what matters and if it's going to have an impact on your business. So automation is key, and to simplify things. Okay. We saw someone there posting, and you're kind of freezing. I don't know if I'm freezing. I'm the one freezing in the cold in Nebraska, but
yeah, I think do you have a slow connection? If it's stormy, you can have a slow connection out there. Plus, out there, you're what, 6 o'clock, something, 6:12. That's
yeah. So it's everybody's home.
People are getting home, and that was Mary. Hi, Mary. And Mary has transitioned also, so I love that too. That's awesome, Tracy. Yeah. Okay. So we've got not completing the date, and you've got to get on video content. What's up next?
Yep. Okay, so with the third one that was video content, and then number 3 is I went to number 1. Number 3 is focusing on selling and not serving. So a lot of people, and I'm going to talk about this, is a little bit digressing. If you are someone selling a product or anything that you sell, a lot of people sell the features and not the benefits, and they get so used to listing all the features. And it's really the outcome that we want to sell, the emotion, and what you give them. So Renee, like when you're working with your clients over the years, you weren't just selling a meal replacement, right?
Never.
You were selling, because with the first thing when they call you, they're not thinking, I wonder how many grams of protein they have in that product. No. Wonder what that tastes like. I hope she can help me lose weight. I hope she can help me with my stress. I hope she can make me feel better about myself. Whatever that, whatever they're struggling with inside is what you're going to help them to do. So a lot of times people just get in the habit of rattling off the features and not necessarily the benefits of what they do. Thus, when we were both talking about earlier, where we've came from the same place, where we used to work for the same, in a different capacity. I was a rep for the company, and you were one of the, I was both sides. I also had a clinic, so I was actually a distributor as well at one point. But it doesn't matter. It's about who we are. It wasn't the product that made us. So the product can shift and change, That's always, up for grabs because your people are going to change all the time. But how you deliver and how you help people, specific, what changes you make in their business, in their life, in their health, in their wellness, in their mindset, all is what you want to be conveying. So coming from a serving position and really sharing the benefits and not the, the features of the product. So focusing on serving more than selling. And of course you're selling.
Just to step in there, Tracy, I do want to let people know, if you want to work with Tracy, if you want to book a consultation, find out how she can work with you and your business, please, here's her website. I thought I could put my bot up there so you could put a little word in and get her attraction book. Is it attraction? Client attraction?
It's a client attraction handout. Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, things have changed so much in this space that they've shut different things down. So I wasn't able to do that. But I did want to say, to your point on focusing on selling, the one thing I always knew, and my first career was in the event business for about 27 years, and I always knew that whatever I was passionate about, whatever I believed in, money would just follow me around, and it could sell itself all day long. I never had to sell people. And if we're trying to sell people, it's the, you got to shift your focus, and absolutely, working with a coach like Tracy can help you and your team to shift the way we approach people, the way that we do business, because this is really all about sharing. When I'm in my clinic, I am talking to people, and I always tell them, I'm interviewing you in the same way that you're interviewing me. This is not a diet mill. This is a place where I want to make sure that the people that I work with are going to be successful. And the first thing we have to do is make sure that your mindset is in the right place, and that we're doing this for the right reason. So we can't lose weight for a birthday party or a wedding. I mean, you can do those things, but in my clinic, that's not my optimum client. My optimum client is someone, and the pandemic's been great for that, because we want to attract people that are wanting to change their lifestyle. And those are the people that are going to go out and tell everyone in sight about you, about their success story, about the way that they were treated in your clinic, how they felt heard for the first time ever. So yeah, and Tracy, you and I are kindred spirits, and that's our focus. We want to help people. This channel here, this education group, I created it because I wanted to, number one, learn myself from experts like Tracy. But number two, I wanted to share that with all the people that were like floundering like I did at first. I built big businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses, but I'd never had a coaching business. That's a whole different animal. And it's just like right now, as we're going through the pandemic, I'm pivoting all my businesses online. I've never had that kind of business. So now I've got to study that, and I've got to be mentored. So people like Tracy are mentors. And I mean, how many clinics would you say you've worked with, or even, we don't even have to talk clinics. How many health practices have you worked with?
Oh, it's a good, in my last year at a time, it was about 85. Now, over the course of besides having my own, over the course of 8 years, oh goodness, several hundred, I'm guessing. The ones that I organically grew from the ground up, it was very specific because I was able to coach them and mentor them in a, in a different capacity than those that I inherited. And so, and it's like kids, they grew up and they had some bad habits. So it's hard to kind of fix those habits. So those, just like you, and like when you were mentioning the people that you serve, that you work with, that come to you, same with me. If it's different than the company before, now if they choose to work with me, I don't have a quick fix. And I work with people, I really want to help, for instance, people get from where they are now to where they want to be. That's what it is. And they want to have to do the work. I can't do it for them. Just like in weight loss, we can't help them to lose the weight. We can see their potential. They have pure potential. We can see that in them. And there's a lot of times, so when I'm coaching and doing marketing strategy to business strategy to looking at foundations, I help implement. Sometimes I hire people that do help get things done. So it really depends on each client and what we're working on, but we have to do mindset because there's a lot of barriers we get. Just like you, I have my own mentors. I am constantly looking for different mentors because I also have to level up and scale up just to be able to deliver more, learn more, just like you, when you were saying you needed to learn this, or I have to take a deep dive as well. So it's not like I had it all, and I don't have all the answers now. And if I'm working with someone and I don't know, I either am going to refer you to someone I know and we're going to get the answer, or I have someone on my team. So I have people on my team. So if they need some marketing, websites is a huge thing. So, and I didn't even mention that in here, but having your website cleaned up, able to capture leads. A lot of people it is a billboard, but number one, I'm going to mention this as well, because this could go down another whole, we could open another can of worms, but then you can have this beautiful website also, but if it's not monetizing and you don't have a clear funnel to put them through in a journey for your client to go through, or know your exact niche. I mean, there's so many things to it. So a lot of times people get panicked, especially now in a pandemic, and we've had to shift and change. And then they're like, oh, I just need 20 clients, Tracy. That's all I need. And I'm like, okay, we have to back it up because, and I've done it too. I'm not saying, no, I've never done these things, but we have to make sure that we have all the foundations correct, and that we take a look at how we are capturing leads, what that website looks like. But again, when we're tackling these things, we want to make sure that it aligns with you, and we're going to work on certain goals. And so the next thing that I wanted to talk about, because these people I'm so grateful that they're on tonight, is not automating things, making sure that they have a funnel and you're not doing things ad hoc, and because that's time suckers. So I would rather, when we were talking about this, both you and I, before we got on here, Renee, we were talking about, we're both in a grinding mode. So I've been incognito a lot. And so because I'm building and creating content and doing things so that I can make some, I'm working with clients, but to be able to make some of the offers, I need to make sure I have automation in place, because I don't want to always redo, or just like looking for clients, always out looking for clients. You want to have a system to capture them and constantly getting referrals and leads. Is I freezing a little?
It's just okay. No worries. Not bad.
Not bad. Tracy's just frozen.
No, it was just a little crackly in your voice. I think when I look at what a lot of people say to me is, well, how did you build your website? How did you decide to do this? How? And I've got all these Okay, sorry. This platform completely changed. So I've got all these things that are little buttons out here. So I wanted to push this button here, the Meet Tracy button. But anyway, so you know, I think one of the biggest mistakes, and you were talking about this, is that you're not branded to yourself. So the quick fix is allowing the company, allowing some kind of generic website to be made just so you have a listing, and not understanding how that impacts your overall business. And I'm sure those are things that you go over with people, Tracy. But one of the biggest things I see in our health coach industry is, and a mistake, huge mistake, is not branding yourself to a product, not branding yourself to yourself. So, you are the coach. You're the reason that your business is successful. Your whatever it is you do, and like Tracy was talking about, your niche market. So it's super important. I think we forget that too, because we just want to cover the expenses. And as a small business person and going through the pandemic, I'm sure there was a lot of angst, and I know a lot of businesses shut down. But not getting into fear mode, keeping our power, because it's easy to get scared. And I've owned several businesses, and I was young when I started, so I made some big mistakes. So keeping your power and knowing, this is my wheelhouse, this is what I'm good at, this is, my niche market is ladies from 40 to 65, or whatever it is for you. And just, I'm sure Tracy has all kinds of strategies. I'll tell you what, Tracy, I was super impressed when I met Mandy Peterson at the Seattle weekend, and I'm sitting, we went out to dinner after some of the meetings, and I was sitting there and event, and I was like, working together. Did we freeze?
We did freeze. And you were sitting with Mindy Peterson, I heard. And what did she say?
Oh, okay. So we're sitting at dinner, and she's telling me about how she just opened her clinic and you helped her, and she literally had like 20 people come into the first event and sold the whole thing out. And the way that she did it was by putting these little ads on her local buy and sell. And I was like, oh my gosh, you got to tell me what this is.
Now, what they also did at their clinic, we were contracted. So I was contracted with the company. I wasn't an employee. They paid me extra. And so I was paid as a consultant to build their system and come in and put everything they needed. And because she was like, we're providers. We don't do this. We don't know. So they paid me, and I had some of my other clinics that had paid me to come in and set up automation, foundations, and do it the way, because just I can give the same formula to everybody, and they just wanted the fast pass. So that's one way and we haven't talked about how I work with people. I'm all about the fast pass. So I like to come in and do what I call a VIP intensive. I like the VIP treatment. So if I'm working with someone, I like to go in, I like to get it done, and I like to take the knowledge one-on-one, customized. I go to an event, I like to usually sit up front. So if I go shopping to my favorite boutiques, I don't go for a while, and then I call and I'm like, all right, coming in. And then it's a big, and they're bringing in all sorts of clothes, and they're like, oh, we thought of you, Tracy, with this one. And I buy a lot then. I don't have time to just go for me. So I like that VIP intensive setup. So that was the same thing. They wanted the fast track, and they were ready to pay me for the fast track to, ramp up quicker. So those are different ways. People can do it organically themselves. They can, and a lot of times I have clients that are so overwhelmed, they don't even know what to do. And the struggle is real. You get on the struggle bus, especially when you're alone in this world. And so, are you frozen? I knew we were frozen.
I love that.
But you get on this struggle bus, and you're not alone. You're spinning and spinning because, and you're not good at everything. That's the other thing. We talked automation, so automating things, but also when there is a point you need to delegate. And a lot of people are like, I'm a new coach. I can't afford it. I can't afford it in a pandemic. Well, there's certain things, if you're not good at them, and I always look at your skill set, and that's really important. I do some strength finding tests and different tests to find out where you shine. Where's your genius? Because we all have a great genius zone. So let's work your strengths, and then let's bring in people, and if we're creating graphics or we're doing posts, you can have a VA that just does the post for you. Having that content calendar, it doesn't serve you to do all those things, but you need all these steps in place. So I don't ever like to overwhelm people, because I'm a visionary and I can see potential where people are missing things. So I get all excited, and that passion, I get, oh, this is fun. They're like, oh my gosh. And it's like, no, we're going to pull it back, and we're going to tackle this the best way that works for you, aligned with your vision. And we were talking about your niche. So knowing, I call it your ICA, going through, and we want an avatar of what that person looks like. Who do you serve? You want to know who you serve and be specific to your messaging. So, and then the last thing that I wanted to say on this, just the simple 5, was not tracking results.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and it can be tracking it on your Google Analytics, your Facebook, to your referrals, to your leads. If you can't manage what you can't measure. So you have to, it's not always fun to do the math, but you have to be able to track it. And if the systems are set up right, so you can track them fairly easily, then it just becomes routine. And that you actually have to plan in your schedule. Block scheduling, and it's just like the marketing piece. It's just like, I have CEO days. So on a weekend, I will sit for 3 hours, and I call it my CEO day. And I've got to check off those lists once a month. And I try to work with clients on that. So we block schedule those things, because they're tasks, and you project manage your own business tasks, just like you would your client schedule. So just making sure that you have time for those things, as well as personal time. Right now, I know for me, maybe in Renee, where we don't have a lot of self-care time, which is wrong, but, take it from us, you kind of got to have your time for creativity. And because there's certain times I'm super creative and I'm really focused on content. And then there's the times that I'm focused on systems. And then if, I don't want to do my taxes or the bookkeeping for the month, sorry, but I got to do it. So I have that booked in. It's like, you're going to cross that off. And I don't have a whiteboard in here, but I have a mirror, big mirrors in here, and I write with marker. And because I'm all about, I have project management boards, and I, keep everything consistent, but I'll write what I need to do and my top 3 for the week, and during the day, what I have to do. And we just, consistently break those things down. But automation and tracking, it's not always fun, but it's a part of the plan.
Well, and I completely agree with you. And it wasn't until maybe I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, actually, Emily Countryman, I never tracked a single stat in my business. I did well. The bills were paid. I never really thought about it, Tracy. And, she did an event where she was talking about how you need to know how many, people are in this phase of your business, how many people are in this phase of your business, how many of the people are, just continuing to come back as a repeat customer in your business. And who are they? How do you reward them? And that was really like, wow. And so, and a simple little tracking, we just put together a simple little tracking sheet, and then we could add it up each month, and somebody went in and did that. And you're so right about the delegation thing. As business owners, we think because we are entrepreneurs that we can do everything. That's a huge, gigantic mistake, and we end up overwhelmed and not doing anything, and then really getting in trouble. Been there, done that.
Yeah, and I've owned several of my own small businesses in different capacities, but I came from, my family owned a large business, and we had I was there 20 years. We had about 2,600 employees.
Wow.
So I worked from ground zero, I say janitor to, and so my last roles were in running I started running later, all IT projects to running all company-wide projects. And so working with many divisions. So project management and business strategy is my strength. So I come from large, but it's family owned. So the large business, but with the family small mentality. And so when I went into my own business as well, not having all the teams that you have to delegate from or to pull from. So if you've been working and then you have this dream to do your own business, a lot of people get so burnt out because they're like, this is not fun. I have this passion, and now I got to do all this stuff, and I can't do what I love to do. And I'm working, 80 hours a week, 14-hour days, and I'm trying to do, and I have no life now, and now I'm broke too. So it's really having the foundation, and then a structure to be able to get referrals, because you want to be constantly getting referrals and not going out and always like, well, I got to find more people again. And so with some of the models that we worked with before, I just was hoping if for you, a coach, had other offers where you were basically offering, had your one main product line, but you offered other options and you marketed yourself, because you wanted to have, and you have other, sources of income. So I just believe in multiple streams of income, and making sure that you have other things coming in and things that are, residual. And so it really taking a look at, you just don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, because just like with COVID, we know that when that basket, it could be gone fairly quick. So you want to make sure that you have other ways that you can maneuver. And online, there's so many ways, and you don't have to take them on all now. And the last thing with this that I didn't say is comparativeness. Don't compare yourself to everybody else. And when you start watching the big gurus out there, you're going to be like, I can't do this. I can't. There's no way. I can't do videos like Renee. What? No, I'm not doing this. So, or you look and be like, but we all started somewhere. And if you know your genius zone and who you're serving, and actually have the foundation right, and work with the right mentors, you can fast track that. And so you have to invest in it, and you want to make sure you're not throwing your money away with it also. So that's why I also do free strategy calls, because I offer the free strategy calls. I do intensive days. They're VIP days where you come in and it's like 3 months of coaching in a day that they go out with action plans. Then they get 30 days of follow-up. I do one-on-one coaching and consulting. And then I'm just going to be launching the new and taking applications soon for my Healthy Biz Academy. It's a healthy business building academy. So it's a group coaching program, and it's not just health, coaches by any means. So I really work with female entrepreneurs and leaders, and those that are on the online model, and building that so we're not alone. And we'll actually be in some of these, we take action. And so we might be working for a couple hours, and I'll give you a project, and I'm going to be kicking off one program here soon. That it's a masterclass that we'll be just working on lead magnets. And we're going to come in, and anybody that's in it, I'm going to have breakout sessions on Zoom, because we can't do it live. and we're going to actually, I'll have templates, and you're going to break out and you're going to start building, and we'll work in Canva. You're going to either learn Canva quick or, and if you don't, that's fine. But so those are just some ways that I work with people as well. And I really I need to make sure that I can serve you and that we're a good fit. And else I'm going to refer you on to whomever, because I'm not about wasting money. And I also want people that are ready to take action, and, they're coachable, and they want to make a difference, and they want to take all the steps to do it. And I probably cut out a lot.
Yeah.
Because I know you're getting fuzzy. Darn busy, cold weather here.
No, it's, what, Tracy, all of the things that you've talked about today, I think are super important. And I think the biggest takeaway here is you can't do everything by yourself. And having a business mentor, that was, when I started my first business at 24, nobody told me that. I didn't have any partnership. I didn't have any help. And I failed pretty early on. My first failure was a couple of years in. And it wasn't because I wasn't making enough money. It was because I didn't know the business strategy. I didn't know how to manage my money. I didn't know a lot of things. So, having a business strategist, having a mentor, having someone that's done that is so key. And if you're restructuring, I took a look at this last April and I said, okay, well, they're telling us that it's only going to be a few more weeks, but I don't think so. And so, I had already been coaching virtually, and really I was just coaching my own clients. I'm from Silicon Valley, and many of my clients moved places. So they're now relocated in Texas or Florida or Chicago. So I had already started that aspect. I already had an online store because I needed a place where they could go in the middle of the night and order their food, and it would show up the next day and we could ship it to them. So, that was all private. That was just for my clients. It's now public and virtual, which I really appreciate being able to do. So understanding that as an entrepreneur, a lot of times it feels like you're on an island, and you really need that life vest. And Tracy's the life vest. So she's worked with tons and tons of different kinds of businesses. She's seen a lot of different things that were wrong, and different ways to fix them. And being open-minded to the process is super, super important. So one of the things we have to do right now is look at our businesses and go, this part of my business is not working. Guess what? Maybe a third eye can help you see how to make it work again, or maybe that it's just not necessary any longer. Maybe you need to shift. And so, as you know, and many of you know, I shifted a lot of my business online. I shifted into a new stream of income with healthy, holistic products that people can order online. I shifted my supplement line to that business. People love it. It works for them. And now I have two streams of end goal 2 years from now, 3 now, as I go into my early 6 connect way, I'm going in advance, a couple years in advance, to do that. Were you able to hear that, Tracy?
It kind of was going in and out, but I got the gist of it. But, and having the multiple streams of income, and that's, this is one area I work on in all my offers, but I have larger corporate clients that I work with as well. And so just because I come from a project management and a corporate side, so I can pivot. And so I have large proposals with larger companies that are, and I work on retainer with some of them. So I have to be very specific. And so I love that when I was talking about that VIP day where I'm just kind of known. I just did one, and it's on one of my pages. There's my website's been going up, and it is a work in progress because I'm more about, I've been so busy focused on my clients that mine sometimes has been taking the back burner. But I just did a recent VIP day with a client she's local, but she's an executive coach and a speaker. And so we just did a VIP day, and she did a video, and it's on my page, of just a reference of, what that experience was like, and coming in and doing, and we follow up here next week to go over things. And so the VIP experience, like I said, it's a full day or a half day, and we're fully immersed. We do pre-launch to prep for it. We go into a full day, and on Zoom, you break it up, or in person. And then after, they go away with, if it's 2 to 3 actionable steps, if not more, and it's like 3 months of coaching. And then we have 30 days, if it's a full day they have Voxer connection to me, so they can, I like to hear voice inflection, so they can send me messages, because if they're in like, oh crap mode, or, I got my own way, or I can hear, and then they're doing downloads. So I call myself the VP on demand. I'm your vice president on demand. So I'm like the VP, director of operations. That's where my brain goes. And so then I come in and I share kind of my ideas and strategies. So when they work with me on that intensive, they get me for a month, and then we do a follow-up to make sure that they've, achieved those goals. So that's kind of the fast track way. So again, multiple ways that we can work to help people, but I just encourage you, we'll share the client attraction, the form that I had created for you, and it's a PDF, and it actually has embedded in it, like if you click on my website, you can go there. If you click on where the Facebook group is, I have a health coach. It's a business building strategy page for healthpreneurs specifically. Again, I work with all kinds of health coaches and females entrepreneurs. And then, so we'll post that in here, and a free strategy call for you guys, because honestly, if I can just help you, and see if there's a good mutual fit, or just help you solve one thing, great. I'm here to serve and help. And if I'm not the right fit, there's plenty out there that can help and give guidance. Just as Renee said, having a mentor and having the right people to, throw things and bounce ideas off of, so you don't feel alone. And I know we kind of went, it looks like we froze again. So I hope if I'm frozen that my face looks halfway good and I don't have my mouth open looking goofy. Have I been froze? I think I'm froze.
It's okay. It's okay. It's kind of coming in and out. Tracy, this has been great. All we have each other. We have this network here. Feel free to reach out to Tracy. Feel free to reach out to myself if you have questions. And if you have some content that you would love to share with other health coaches, please reach out to me, because I love to share. And we have this forum. I think we have over 500 health related coaches and clinic owners and different types of, as we grow, different kinds of healthpreneurs. I love that name also. And thank you, Tracy, for your time and all that you do. And people, Tracy's awesome.
So are you, and thank you for all you do, and everything that you put out there, because you're always serving people, you're always sharing, and you're always helping. Besides helping them on the health side, you do help on the business side too.
Try.
And so, yeah, you do, and you're fantastic at it, and you're fantastic at connecting. So, thank you for allowing me to be here and share my pivot. And I love what I do. I love being a, business consultant and strategist. Is awesome. And I loved coaching. So that's, health coaching, and I life coach. I have all those certifications. But it helps us. It's a tool in the toolbox, right?
It really does. And it takes us to the next place. So, wherever we're at today, we're heading somewhere else, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the road. So, you're building your toolbox right now. And I love that, Tracy, that you're very much like me, where you just said, okay, we got to pivot here. What's next? Yay, I'm going to do what I love.
There's the mindset piece, and I'll end on that too, because we could sit and live in the problems and the, oh, poor me, poor me, poor me. What's the solution?
That's right.
Our brains like to answer questions. So if we give it okay, so what is next? Have fun with it.
Exactly.
Life's too short, and we can sit and live in the pity party, or you can live in the struggle and the overwhelm and not get yourself anywhere, or seek out someone and just see if myself or someone else is the right fit, or if they need to lose weight, just make the call, or they want to start the supplement, or you're doing so amazing at adding that extra stream of income with your product line, and now you're showing people how to do it. So go with someone who's doing it well. Don't do it alone.
Exactly.
That's why I say fast track. That's why I do the VIP day.
Fast track. The VIP day. I think that's a great thing, because
that's my signature, is my VIP day.
Entrepreneurs have so much time, so and
you kind of froze again.
Sunday I can, I'm 10 educated person. Okay. Okay.
Froze again, darn it.
It's been good. It's been fun. It's great to catch up with you, and everybody take a moment to reach out to Tracy and see what Tracy has in her tool bag that might fit where you're at in your business right now. All right. Take care, Tracy.
It's a pink tool belt, by the way.
I like it.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night.